So you might be feeling those springtime allergies already, and it can be hard to find relief from symptoms. But we have help today from Dr. Franklin Gergitz with Sinus and Allergy Wellness Center. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I know this is an issue. I hear it in the office all the time. They're like, my allergies are so bad. So can you explain why allergies and sinus infections are particularly bad this time of year?
Absolutely. We're right smack in the middle of the allergy season, which starts in February and ends in June. When pollens are in the air, more and more irritation comes into the nose, and the nose has a job of filtering the air through the nose. So when there's inflammation inside the nose and the immune system is overwhelmed, inflammation causes swelling and blockage of the sinus cavities and even the ears.
Oh, in the ears. Okay,
Exactly.
So that's why you see people like, my ears are itching,
Right.
And so it's really your nose just gets overwhelmed.
It does.
Okay, so it can't do its job fully because there's too much going on.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so for those suffering from chronic sinus infections, it can be really, hard on them. So what are the common symptoms that people should watch out for?
Right. So think of the patients living with chronic facial pressure, chronic facial pain, drainage and stuffiness. That can actually progress to having difficulty with their quality of sleep, loss of sleep, daytime fatigue, poor performance in the office and at home, I should say at school. So yeah, allergies can really cause problems with the sinus cavities as well as the ears.
Yeah, because they're not thinking clearly, right?
Right.
Because your
yeah,
head's
brain
stuffy.
fog. That's a good point. Yeah, some people complain of a brain fog too that we find after we treat the sinus cavities, get their sinuses open and back to normal, everything kind of subsides and it gets back to normal.
So earlier we were talking and you were saying that people think this is just normal part of life and they just live with it, but that's not true, right?
No, not at all. So as time progresses, that inflammation can sometimes lead to soreness in the back of the throat, hoarseness, cough, asthma, even pneumonia.
Okay, so can you tell us about the services that you offer then at Sinus and Allergy, since we don't have to live with this,
No
right?
doubt, right. So as soon as you come in, you're going to be greeted by a friendly staff. Our providers are highly trained, board certified. We do a detailed ear, nose, and throat examination, which includes an endoscope.
Okay.
So the patients can actually see in real time what's going on inside their nose and sinus cavities.
Oh.
We also take a CAT scan, so we get a real nice instant image, providing an instant diagnosis and a treatment plan.
Okay, instant right there. You know what's
right
going
there.
on.
That's
So I'm
right.
sure that's helpful because that way you know how to treat it right there. and
Right,
then.
and a detailed plan is established right then.
Okay, so speaking of treating, balloon sinusoplasty is gaining popularity for a treatment for sinus infection. So how does that work and what are the benefits?
So the sinus cavities, the areas that we focus on, think of the narrowest part of an hourglass. So the balloon goes inside that narrow part. As soon as it's expanded, now the sinus narrowing actually is maximized. So aeration is increased, the drainage is improved, and we can return the sinuses and the ears back to their normal function.
Oh, okay. So what is the downtime for that?
For us, it's days, a day or so. We actually have patients that come in having the procedure done and want to know if they can go back to work that day.
Okay, so it's a doable thing, right?
It's doable,
and
absolutely.
it's helpful.
Very
Oh
helpful,
my gosh,
very
I don't
successful.
have to suffer from allergies forever. So what sets Sinus and Allergy Wellness Center apart and why should we come to your team for help?
I think it's the fact that we spend time and give our patients an opportunity to feel better. Oftentimes patients get in this habit of recurring antibiotics over and over again, and we just don't want to be on antibiotics. There's lots of side effects from being on antibiotics. So we can fix the problem in our office. So we know there's other opportunities for other providers, but again, our services are geared towards patients who have problems with any ear, nose, and throat problem, but certainly the sinuses, and we can help with the allergies as well.
See, so there is help out there. You don't just have to live with all these sinus infections, right? Well, thank you so much for joining us
My
and sharing
pleasure.
all that information.
You bet. Thank you.
And if you want to learn more, go ahead and visit sinusaz.com or call the number there on your screen.